There is nothing to talk about. I'd like a pack of cigarettes, please.
What brand?
It doesn't matter. Something under 50 crowns?
Okay, here. 45 crowns.
I see you also sell boxed wine. Would you have something bottled, too?
No, I'm afraid that's all we have.
Fine, I'll have this one then.
28 crowns.
Thanks. There's only garbage and some trash bins at the end of the subway. That would be a waste of time. Here, I brought you those cigarettes.
Great, thanks. You're a lifesaver. A good brand, too. Now I owe you. If you need anything, just ask.
I noticed those wine bottles on the windowsill.
Yeah, and I wish they were full.
I could use one.
What? You want an empty bottle from a beggar? Man, I knew instantly you'd be a riot. Take whichever one you want. I owe you for those smokes anyway.
Boxed wine of questionable quality. It's quite clean. I'll pour the wine into the bottle with care. I've got the wine I promised to bring. Quality brand, as you wished.
Oh, right. This is a nice one, too.
I didn't save on it.
Very well. We have a deal. I suppose it's my turn to return the favor. Here, take this. It's my old employee's ID card. Show it to my nephew in the front. He'll know.
Is that it?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Jesus, will you leave me alone?
Calm down. I'm told I need to give you this, that you know what it means?
Let's see. Aha, that's a different story then. Very well, listen. Go anywhere you want. But if you cause any trouble, I'll swear I haven't seen you in my life. Is that clear?
Perfectly.
Miss Kanska's office is in the basement, door number 24. And I hope you won't spend the whole day in there.
Tube post. It will look up and deliver any document from the archive according to an assigned code. A vending machine. I'm not thirsty at the moment. Employee ID card reader. The door to the office is locked. Drawers for storing documents. It would take forever to find something in these. There's nothing in it. The pockets are empty. It could use some watering. A small key was hidden under the flower pot. Input code. That reminds me of something. Records from years 1983, 1984, and 1985. Nothing I'd be interested in at the moment. The drawer is locked. The stamp of the Central Archive. Felix, Barbora's pet. It is an ordinary pencil sharpener. A notepad. The pages are blank. The text is quite legible now. Some numbers. D3-7422. I'll skim through Barbora's email. This looks interesting. The State Institute of Care of Historic Monuments, from Peter Nadol, probably the person who sent the report form to Barbora. I'll print out a copy. A copy of the report prepared by Barbora. The system took several minutes to deliver the document. I didn't know what Barbora had stored in the archive. That made my waiting even longer. It seemed to take forever. Maybe this is what Barbora's murderer was looking for. The original Nibiru project documentation from 1943. Codename ni.bi.ru. Created March 15th, 1936. Section: Application of New Technologies, Weapons Systems. Location: Kohnstein, Nordhausen. Officer in charge of the research: G. Malmström. Deputy Officer in charge of the research: D. Romhart. Scientific staff count, 7 men. Military staff count, 12 men. Project scope, research of the possibility of contact of extraterrestrial entities with the ancient Mayan and Sumerian civilizations. Analysis of new metals and other materials found on archaeological sites in Mexico and their utilization in new weapon technologies. The professor was right. The Germans were closer than anybody could have imagined. At last, lunch break is over and the bureau is open. An armchair for the guests. I don't want to sit down.
You can't enter that office, sir. The president is busy and doesn't wish to be disturbed.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry. She won't let me in. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
My name is Martin Holana, and I'm with the International Archaeological Organization. I need to have a permission slip validated to enter a site of historical discovery.
What kind of discovery and where is it located?
Western Bohemia. That's all I can tell you.
Hush, hush. What's this all about then? Well, you need to fill in these 2 forms and I'll queue up your application.
But you see, I need that validation slip immediately. I can't wait until tomorrow. Isn't there something I could do to speed things up?
I'm afraid not. There are many applications and we are required to not make any exceptions.
So when would my application be processed?
Not before tomorrow, but more likely the day after tomorrow.
I can't possibly wait that long.
I understand, but there's no other way. So, do you want those forms?
No thanks. I'll come back later.
All right, then.
Can I have your call card?
Oh, sure. Feel free to take one.
Thanks. I have to find another way to get the permission validated without all those forms. The report now fulfills all prerequisites. The call card of the secretary from the Institute.
What can I do for you, sir?
We talked about a permission slip validation, Western Bohemia.
Oh, yes, I remember that. You've come in to fill the forms, right?
Well, I really need to have this dealt with fast, and I definitely can't wait until tomorrow. Couldn't I just walk into the office next door and get the single necessary stamp?
Like I've already told you, you'll have to follow the rules. Besides, Mr. President is too busy today. And we don't make exceptions, sir.
No exceptions. Got it.
Listen, I've got work to do. You need anything else?
No, thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.
I could use some information. Don't you happen to know a young woman who works in this building right here behind you? About 25, slim, blonde.
Yeah, I probably know the one you mean. What about her?
Which car does she drive to work in?
Well, since it's you and with all the smokes and all, why wouldn't I tell? She's got a silver Mercedes. Always parks it around the corner here.
And the license plate number?
You're kidding, right? What am I, a PI? What do I care about license plate numbers?
A silver Mercedes. That'll do, thanks.
Yeah, and try not to get your ass kicked. She's probably got the car from that jerk who waits for her here from time to time.
Well, I'm not gonna try to get a date, but I'll watch out anyway, thanks. It's not too likely that she was able to afford this out of her own salary. The license plate number is 1A7-1537.
Historic Monuments Care. Good morning. How can they help you?
Good morning, miss. Prague Water Supply and Sewerage here. We've come across a small problem. Maybe you can help us.
Well, this is the President's Secretary. What's the trouble?
We need to get inside a sewer right next to your building, but there's a vehicle parked over it. They gave me this number. Wouldn't you happen to know whom the car belongs to? It's a Mercedes.
A Mercedes? That's my car! What's the license plate number?
1A7-1537.
Jesus Christ, that's my car!
What a pleasant coincidence.
I hope the car is all right. I've only had it for a couple of months.
Don't worry, miss. We've barely touched it. But could you come down and repark?
I can't leave the office right now. Is it absolutely necessary?
Yes, we've got work to do, and having the vehicle towed away might waste a lot of time.
Towed away? All right, hold on. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay, we'll wait for a bit, but please don't delay us unnecessarily.
No, I won't. I'm coming right away. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. Bye. Good morning.
Excuse me, but who let you in? I have no time for a personal appointment today. Mr.
Holan. Martin Holan. I apologize for disturbing you, but the door was open, so I entered.
How come my secretary even allowed you to enter? I distinctly said I didn't want to be disturbed.
Well, there was nobody in the office.
Really? Those are explicit instructions. Well, I'll have to handle that later. Let's get to why you're here. Why have you come to see me?
I'm with the International Archaeological Organization and need your authority to validate a permission to enter a site in western Bohemia where a German mine from around the end of World War II was uncovered. I've got the report on the discovery right here.
Oh, yes. I've heard something about that already. Tell me more.
I'm afraid to disappoint you, but I only know as well what's in the report. You see, I've been studying the war for some time now. I'm very interested in that particular period, and Peter wanted me to go have a look. I'm supposed to learn the details at the site.
Peter Nebel?
Yes. Do you know him?
We went to the same school. I remember him from a few of the bars and drinkfests we hung out in. Why haven't you applied for the validation approval formally?
You see, I'm going to visit my uncle in France. Peter's call was pretty much unexpected, and I promised I'd check out the site before I left.
Oh, I understand. Trouble is, I have no idea if that permission will do you any good.
How do you mean?
I got a call yesterday. They're afraid the corridors might be undermined. We asked for an explosive squad to investigate the whole area.
You know what havoc people outside our field can wreak before we even get to the site?
You're right. At any rate, I'll validate your permission form. Just one condition. I'd like you to call me when you're finished over there. Oh, and say hello to Peter from me.
Gladly. Thank you. I rented a car and set off directly to the location where the mine had been discovered. A lot of thoughts were running through my mind on the way. Soon the silhouette of the forest emerged on the horizon.
Halt! What are you doing here? Civilians have no business here.
I'm from the Historic Monuments Institute, and I have the necessary permission.
Another archaeologist? Weren't you supposed to back off until our people clear the area?
Not quite. There's a couple of details left to be checked out.
Okay, wait here. I'm going to call my commander. Sir, there's a man demanding entry to the location. No civilians are allowed to enter the site at this point. He says he has permission. Oh, does he? Let's see it then. Well, I'm not delighted, but it seems everything's okay with your papers. You're free to move around the camp, but nowhere else, especially not the mine. Until that area is explored properly, nobody's going down there. Understood?
Yes.
You'll find your colleague down that path over there on the bridge.
Colleague?
He arrived after all the other archaeologists had left. Don't you know about him?
Oh, of course. I remember now. I'll speak to him.
Do what you have to, but don't forget what I said.
This isn't looking good. Getting into the mine won't be easy. I'll have a look around and see what I can do. What are those old maps?
That's none of your business.
Could you spare a minute to answer a few questions?
Well, okay, go ahead, but make it quick. We expect the explosive people to arrive tomorrow, and I need to have a working plan by 1700.
Sure, I don't have much to ask about anyway. You see, my report on what happened here isn't exactly comprehensive.
I'll tell you the brief version, and I'll tell it once, so listen carefully. The discovery was made by the workers preparing the construction of a new speedway. The next day, one of them found the first mine. A couple more followed. They called your institute to report about their findings. Your people called us and backed off, so now we're taking over. Tomorrow, an explosive squad will arrive from Kazlov. Until then, access to certain areas is restricted. What will that do for you?
Yeah, I think so. He wouldn't tell me more anyway. I won't disturb you any longer.
Make sure not to forget what I've told you. Nobody is permitted to enter the mine.
Of course.
Seeing people fly around is the last thing I want. Now leave me to my work. Look, let me get to work. I don't have any time for your questions.
I'm sorry, I won't be stalling you any longer.
Good. I hope not. Those plans are not intended for civilian eyes.
I barely had a look.
Well, you better not have another one.
A standard army jeep.
Hey, get away from that tent. You've got no business over there.
Sure, I'm sorry. They're edible, but I have no use for them. The rest of the camp is getting lost in a tangle of full-grown trees. The water is crystal clear. Lights like this one illuminate the camp during the night. Locked. The color is peeling off. Other than that, the trailer looks livable. The trees have been cut down by workers clearing the forest. Greetings, I've just arrived from Prague to take a look at the discovery. You're not uniformed. Who are you?
I'm a historian, yes? My name is Peter. Peter Staszek.
Martin Hollan. I'm guessing by your accent I'd say you're not Czech, right?
Well, no, I'm German, but my father is Czech. I had lived in Germany with my mother, but after I finished my studies, I stayed here.
Oh, we have something in common then. What university were you in?
Charles University in Prague, but that was a long time ago. I don't want to talk about it.
All right, let's turn the page. How long have you been around the camp?
Not very long. I arrived this morning.
And the others before you?
The others?
You know, the others from the State Institute of Care of Historic Monuments.
Oh, yes, the others. I got delayed in the city and came here as the last one. By the time I arrived, everyone had left. Except for those damn soldiers, of course.
Strange that you didn't have to leave with the others. Very strange indeed. Why do I have this feeling that he isn't telling me everything? So, why did you stay?
What do you mean, why? I didn't want the grunts to destroy everything. They don't understand anything. And I want to be around when they enter in the mine.
I need to get in there too, and as soon as possible.
Let's see. Maybe we could help each other out. The Major won't even hear about entering the mine again.
You've already been inside?
Yes, I have, but only for an hour or so. The Major came to show me out. No orders, he said, and wouldn't answer any questions.
So it appears we're in the same boat.
Yes, indeed. You can't possibly leave the discovery to them. They don't even know what they're dealing with.
Give me some time. I'll have a look around and see what can be done.
Good idea. Come back later. I'm sure we can work something out.
Agreed. There's something about him I don't quite like. However, we do share the same goal, and two is more than one. I'll return when I've learned more. The Major said something about mines lying around. The place doesn't seem dangerous to me, but do you know something more?
Well, it's true. The workers found something while digging the mine. Not much, but the Major assumes there's more under the ground. That's why they're here. waiting for the experts.
Who actually owns these trailers anyway?
Construction engineers left them here. Likely they couldn't tow them away in time.
So the one over there is free as well.
It's yours if you need it. I don't think anyone will mind you borrowing it. At least, I didn't ask anybody, and nobody asked me about it either.
Good. That old cabin behind the trailer, what's inside it?
Oh, the cabin. What are you looking for around there?
Nothing really, just asking.
Certainly nothing you should be sticking your nose in.
Why, what's going on with you?
I'm okay, you see, there's nothing in the cabin, so why talk about it?
All right then. It's just an old cabin anyway.
Exactly.
Why would he get this nervous all of a sudden? This Major, what kind of a man is he?
I don't know, I only spoke with him a bit when I arrived. He asked a lot more questions than I would have liked. A soldier, you know.
Stacked construction tools and materials.
Halt! Who are you and what are you doing here?
I just arrived from Prague.
Right, I was told so on the radio.
I've come to finish something off.
Try to do it before the explosives folks show up.
The Major told me everything already. Where are the mines?
Something was in front of the entrance, but there might be more inside. We secured what we could, the rest is up to them. We guard the surroundings before they arrive. There might be something even outside.
I certainly hope I'm not going to stumble upon a mine myself.
This isn't fun. A lot of ammo from the war is still live.
Of course, I'll keep my eyes open. What's inside the mine, anyway?
It's you who should know that. Your people were here even before us.
Well, yes, but I'm here for the first time myself.
Better ask your colleague. I'm just on guard around here.
Anything you can tell me saves me time.
I was only there when we were installing the lights in the first section, that's all.
In the first section?
Damn, we're not supposed to talk about it. I said nothing, okay?
The Major was looking at some old plans. Is that related somehow?
Listen, I have zero incentive to continue to talk about this. Go do your job and let me do mine.
Fair enough. Bye. Will you at least let me have a peek into the mine? I'll just take a brief look around and I'll be right back.
No way. The order is nobody enters the mine, annoying historians included. Go away, will you?
I have official permission to enter the mine. Let me in.
You can just forget about that. The permission only covers the surroundings of the mine.
How can I do my job if you don't let me inside? I've come only to explore this spot.
Were you even listening? Nobody can go inside until the area has been secured.
Calm down. I don't want any trouble.
Good for you. Now go away.
He won't let me get any further than the entrance. I have to think of another way to get inside. I have to get inside somehow. Tell me more about the mine. What's inside?
Like you already heard, I didn't have much time to explore it. There's a system of hollowed corridors, some of them still supported by beams, some collapsed.
Is that it? Just corridors? Surely the professor wouldn't have sent me here only to have a look at a hole in the ground. There has to be more than just corridors.
Well, not quite. There's a steel door at the end, going on even further. Damn, I can't keep my mouth shut. I shouldn't have told you.
What? Why?
Well, not yet. You'll get to know more when the time is right.
Why all these secrets? It seems to me he knows a lot more than he admits. We have nothing to talk about. How's it going?
Today's all right. Yesterday was worse. A heavy rain all night. And who do you think was on guard duty, huh? What are you doing here anyway?
Nothing special, really. Just taking pictures for the record.
Sounds pretty boring, but you better stop talking to me now. The Major might not like it.
There is nothing to talk about. I have nothing to talk about with him.
Hey, get away from that tent. You've got no business over there.
Sure, I'm sorry. I've had a look around and don't know yet how to get into the mine. It isn't going to be easy. One of the soldiers is standing right in front of the entrance.
Yes, I know he has his orders and won't leave his post, not even for a minute. It's probably better if we wait for the night. There's not much we can do now. I was thinking while you were having a look at the entrance, I know how we both could get inside.
Both? Well, that's going to be even more conspicuous.
Well, I have a plan, and together we can pull it off. So, are you interested?
I don't find the idea to be a great one. It can't be trusted. But it seems I have no other choice. All right, I'm listening. No matter how little I trust Stashik, his plan just might work out. Besides, I don't have a plan of my own. We've agreed on outsmarting the guard by the entrance to the mine. It didn't seem at all hopeless, and night was closing in quickly. One thing I couldn't get off my mind, though. What possible reason could he have for helping me get into the mine? I didn't get up until after midnight and slipped into the darkness of the forest. The light in the trailer was on exactly like we had arranged. The silence of the night was interrupted only by the sounds of night creatures. Are you here? There's nobody here. I'm sure we agreed to meet at this hour. Maybe I'll run into him somewhere around the camp. Used before July 10th, 2003. They're somewhat expired. A good can will never go bad, though.